What is up, y'all? Uh, it's Alabama Dipper 60 here, and we're gonna be dipping some. Don't freaking tread on me for this, but we're gonna be dipping some grizzly pouches. Now, it was either grizzly pouches or nothing. To be honest, that was my options. She was like, "Hey, you know what? Like, my mom, the only way I can get dip because I live like nowhere near a gas station. So the only way I can really get dip is from my mom." And her rules are it's got to be pouches because sometimes I do make a mess, like when I'm putting it in, dip falls, gets in the carpet, whatnot. So she was like, hey, you know what, I'll buy you dip, it's got to be pouches. And I was like, okay. So that's that. And yeah, so one thing that I thought was cool was let's crack these open. One thing I thought was cool was the freaking what is it, you know how you can take what's that shit? Like, like this, for instance. I thought that was pretty badass, right? So I'm like, you know what? I need to learn how to make one. And apparently it's really hard to do with grizzly, but Copenhagen's probably about the easiest. Well, apparently their can lids have changed, and to the point where you can't. A lot of people take the can lid and they crunch it in between their palm and they move it, about like clockwise or counterclockwise. And I guess the can lids have changed to the point where you can't even do that. So I'm like, shit. So I looked up on YouTube how to do it and whatnot. So yeah, you just do it with scissors instead, which is pretty basic. And the hard part was getting this to go over my hat and stay. So I had to use a fish hook to uh, to make it stay. So yeah. Um. So yeah. Um. So it's like 2 days before Easter. So Thursday. Actually, like 3 days before Easter. Today's Thursday. I don't know the date. So Easter's coming up, and so is spring break. So that's gonna be real fun. Um. It's I actually have a short week, so it's like when I get back next week to school, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, spring break. Uh, which is pretty chill. So yeah. Um, Another thing I want to go over the topic is how to buy dip underage. How do I get my dip underage? You know, um, and that's simple. I have A, someone else buy it for me, or B, go to a store that doesn't really card. And people are like, how do you go in there? How do you make yourself look a little older? What can you do? What can you say to kind of butter them up and, you know, make the probability of you buying a can of dip underage go skyrocket? So, some of the techniques I use is, you gotta act like you're 18 actually, You gotta actually act like, you buy dip on a regular basis, like, so you actually gotta, like, act 18, You can't be all, oh, I'll take what do you have, stuttering in your voice. As soon as they hear stuttering, you don't know what you want, and plus you look young, they ain't gonna sell to you, man. You bet your ass. So, you walk in there, you know what you want already, before you even walk through the door. Copenhagen wintergreen. Bam. Walk up. Hey, do y'all sell Copenhagen wintergreen? They look around. Yeah, we do. Alright, I'll take 2 cans. Alright, they put it up. ID. Okay, they ask about your ID. The one I use is I left it in my work truck, which actually works. I left it in my work truck, or you can just say I ain't got it on me. But neither of them are really better, I guess. But I've gotten rejected all the times when I said I didn't have my ID on it. The time when I didn't get rejected is when I said I left it in my work truck. I'm like, I left it in my work truck. I could have my buddy drop it off to me at the gas station here, and yeah, and he said, oh no man, it's alright. So I was like, okay, cool. So he gave me 2 cans of that, and we were golden. So, but yeah, a lot of people, their face get red or they start to stutter, when they get to the counter because they're nervous, I guess. And I'm pretty good with that stuff now. None of that shit happens to me. I go in there and I actually, act like I'm 18. Act like I do this shit every day. Uh, so yeah. I guess grizzly pouches aren't all that bad. I hate pouches though. I can't stand them. Uh, but yeah, times I dip the most is probably after a meal and like after like a homemade good meal, and also um when I'm doing homework. Kind of like calms me down. I'm able to buckle down on my work. You know, just gives you something to do while you're writing or whatever you're doing. So yeah. So my plans for spring break is pretty much um is where am oh yeah, I'm going up north with Nick. He's a close buddy of mine. We've been friends since we were little kids. We actually met our cabin up north on a lake. We're like right next to each other, and it's literally there's a road and it goes around the lake. Yeah. What? Okay. 4 o'clock, right? All right. When are we gonna leave? Okay. So apparently I have an appointment with my shrink. But anyway, so yeah, it's pretty much it's just a small lake, uh, big enough to drive around, pontoon, go tubing, good for fishing. I got some big bass up in there. But yeah, so we're going out for spring break, which was gonna be fun. We were like, hell yeah, we're going out for spring break and do some fishing. Well, Doug was up there like last weekend or something. Last weekend. He was like, listen, man, there's some ice on the freaking lake. It's not completely thawed, so if it didn't defrost, uh, by the time, uh, what is it? If it didn't defrost by the time we get up there, we're not gonna be able to fish. Which our plans just down the drain. So that sucks. Uh, so if we won't be able to fish, then fuck, that's gonna suck. And also, I gotta find someone who can buy me like a roll or two can of dip, and also gonna Nick made some homemade hard apple cider. So we made about a gallon of that, so that's gonna be fun, and hopefully I can get a 12 pack of Budweiser. So yeah, uh, that's my plans. Hopefully we'll be able to do some fishing, uh, some range shooting, or not range shooting, but backyard shooting. Uh, so yeah, it'll be fun. Um, hmm. Ah, uh, what else here? Um, hmm. So yeah, looking forward to that. And what else? My sister is going to on her senior trip to Cancun. So yeah, so she's going to Cancun for spring break, and so are both of my parents. And my brother is going to Florida to visit his grandparents. Uh, and yeah, so and I'm going up north. That's the plan. So yeah. Uh, hmm. Also, yeah. So I got my grades up in school, which is good. Uh, I was sick, and my medication had me freaking sucked the life out of me. Really, it did. I my medication that they had me on was freaking horrible. It was what was that shit? Statera. Freaking yeah. So that shit was crazy. Yeah, shit was fucked up. Uh, I got suicidal thoughts. Mm. etc. A lot of crying, a lot of depression, 2, 3 weeks straight, almost a month straight of just pure depression. You know, everything that had went bad in my life, all that things that I was involved in just freaking hit me. I couldn't focus on school. Uh, didn't talk to anybody. Isolated myself. Uh, it was terrible. I laid in bed thinking, you know what, this is the end. It's like this is it. Like I can't freaking live living like this for the rest of my life. Like this is fucking terrible. And I lay awake and I'm like, man, you know, I just might have to. You know, so yeah. Anyways, that was that, and yeah. So got off the medication. I got my medications all adjusted right. Now I'm brought up all my grades. Like I literally had like all E's. Like I did nothing. Well, cause mainly I had all bad grades. Cause I was gone for a freaking month. Missed school, came back, had all E's, and then while I was at school, I was at school, but I wasn't mentally there. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I got all my grades up. I got like B's and C's, and that's that. And I think I have like a D in multimedia, which fucking hate multimedia. It's pretty much like online programs, computer technology, all that shit. Editing stuff, making videos, making what are we doing? Making radio commercials and working through Audacity and Excel and all that shit. I don't know what to do. I'm pretty much lost in that class, so that'd probably bring my GPA down. We don't get GPA in middle school where we're at, so you can't. Well, you can calculate it yourself, but if I did have that D would bring my GPA down a lot. So yeah, high school. I know I'm gonna have to work my ass off because, gotta graduate. Obviously, you can't go freaking through life without a high school diploma. Period. So gotta get that. Plus, military. I don't think they're accepting people with GEDs. Maybe they are, but I looked up one time way back when. You gotta have GED or high school diploma. Now it's just high school diploma. So I don't know if they'll still accept you if you have a GED. They might. Be like, hey man, I got my GED, but hey man, I want to be a fucking soldier. My whole life I want to be a soldier. I want to defend my country. All this. Maybe they might make an exception, but a lot of things in the military is required to have high school diploma. So yeah, I gotta get my high school diploma, which is gonna be a piece of cake. Graduating high school, not that freaking hard. You absolutely have to do nothing in order not to graduate. So, yeah. Anyways, so that should be pretty chill. Got cowboy boots. Like last weekend or weekend before that. You know, they're Durangos by Toby Keith. Look them up, man. They're badass. Best boots. Really badass. I mean, I wouldn't say they're best boots, but they're really nice boots. Actually got a job offer to work there. He's like, man, how old are you? I'm like 15. He's like, oh, how would you like working here? I'm like, man, how would I like working here? I fucking love working here. It's like my favorite store. Of course I'm gonna want to work there. So yeah. So that was cool. He's like, if you're 18, I'd hire you right now, but I'm not 18, so yeah. Which it is what it is. It's just nice because by the time your 18 comes around and you save up all the money from working like a good year of paychecks saved up. You got a good what, grand or two. I mean, depending on how much they pay you, I don't know. Well, I don't know how much they pay you an hour, whatever, or monthly. I don't know how much they pay you, so I couldn't really tell you. I mean, it's probably more than a grand or two. I really have no idea. I just threw that number out, but it's just good to have extra money saved up for when you turn 18 and you go to live on your own. You can put it towards a car or a house that you want, or to build a house, you can put that towards your, just like, just things you'll need later on in life. So it's good to like get working at a young age, because you're 15. What do you need to buy? To be honest, like, what do you need? Um, you live under your parents' roof. You don't pay bills. You don't pay for food. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you don't pay for anything. That's it. So you save up all that money for 3 years, and 3 or 4 years, depending on how long you stay. Because as soon as I turn 19, when I'm 19, I'll still be in my parents' house. Because I'll be in high school. I'll be graduating high school when I'm 19. Because I got help back here. So 4 years saved up paychecks, uh, plus going into the military. So all that money I make in the military and all the money I saved up from when I was 15. When I get out of the military, I'll have a good amount of money. So yeah, that's it, guys. Hey, like on it, subscribe if you want. I really don't give a shit. I'm not gonna sit here and tell y'all, you need to subscribe to me, but I'm planning on making more videos and whatnot. So yeah, probably make one when I get back. I don't even know if I'm gonna change my clothes or not, to be honest, but no, I'll figure it out. Anyways, y'all have a good night, and catch y'all later.